Hi yogis, welcome to class. My name is Alessandra. I am a Vinyasa yoga teacher and an Osho ambassador, and I'm here to give you a Vinyasa flow. Today we're going to be working on our upper body, opening the heart, and also we're going to be working the obliques. With all of my Vinyasa classes, I always try and give you a full body workout, full body flow, but with each session we have a focus. So today's focus is on heart opening and obliques. And in today's class, you'll need 2 blocks. So hopefully you have 2 blocks at home. Otherwise, they're very accessible wherever you are in the world. And I want you to place the blocks either on the highest setting, or you can put them on the medium height, around about here. And we're just going to start off really easy, just opening up. So I want you to align the first block so that it's underneath your shoulder blades. So just underneath. Okay. And then from there, you try and find your second block and place it underneath your head. Make sure your neck is nice and long. Make sure you feel comfortable. And if you have any maybe hard corners on your block, go ahead and place a towel on top. Once you start to feel comfortable, keep your knees bent. Maybe heel-toe your feet wide as your mat, and then collapse the knees inwards. Adjust the distance of your feet from your hips until you feel comfortable. And then from there, we're just going to open the palms out and surrender. So I invite you to gently rest here. Just feeling the push of the block in your upper back. And allow your body to weigh heavy. So your natural instinct perhaps is to hold and try and control. But with this posture, you want to let go. Sink and melt yourself into the ground. And come into your breath. We come into the Ujjayi pranayama breath, if you're familiar. Exhale. Let's take 6 long breaths together, really relaxing the feet and letting the knees roll in. Let's begin the first breath. Inhale. Exhale. 2, inhale. Exhale. 3, inhale. Exhale. 4, inhale. Exhale. 5, inhale. Exhale. 6, last breath. On the exhale, open your eyes. On the inhale, reach your arms up gently. And on the exhale, you're going to grab your left elbow and then follow by grabbing the right. From there, very gently, you're going to reach the arms up and over your head. Perhaps the maximum you can go is with your forearms almost touching or in line with your forehead. And then from there, you need to lengthen the shoulder by almost lifting the elbow up and forearms away from the top of your head and trying to reach it around the crown. See if you can get your triceps in line and biceps in line with your ears. And if you have an even deeper shoulder opening, see if you can melt your arms and forearms into the ground. If you find your neck is curving, remember to tuck the chin in towards the throat and let the heart lift. Stay wherever you can, letting the forearms get heavy. We hold just for 3. Feeling the push of the heart. 2. And 1. Slowly bring your forearms back in front of your face and extend your arms up. Inhale. Energize your fingers and lift them up, stretching the back of the shoulder. And now exhale. This time we're going to grab your right elbow and followed by the left. Slight change, but does make a difference. We're going to repeat the same thing. So inhale. Reach your forearms towards your forehead. If they touch, you need to lift your shoulders, lengthen them, and try and get the forehead above the crown of your head. If your arms stay about forehead height, no worries, you stay there and get the stretch. And if you can, maybe go a bit deeper in line with the ears, or maybe even to the floor behind you. Wherever you are, hold just for 3. Tuck the chin to throat. 2. 1. And now slowly you bring your forearms back in front of your face and reach your arms up. Inhale. Good. Let's roll over to our left side. There's no easy way of doing this. Maybe you need to walk your feet in and then support your left forearm. Try and sit yourself towards the side and come up. Well done. So we're going to move the blocks out of the way for this, or bring the blocks to the front of your mat for this next exercise. And I want you to bring the blocks on the highest setting, so the highest level. So I'm aligning the blocks shoulder width apart, just in front of my fingers. And then from there, we're going to measure our tabletop and just take a small step back with each knee, getting those knees behind your hips. From there, keep your shoulders stacked over your wrists, claw the floor, and then start to curl your tailbone, sliding your chest between your shoulders and feeling a nice stretch on the abdomen. Hold it here and breathe in. And as you breathe out, you push the floor and come into a neutral spine, tailbone slightly tucked. Feel the length of your spine, nice and flat, parallel to the ground, and lean forward. Exhale, bend your elbows, and just try and hover your shoulders off the block. Inhale, push back up. And on the exhale, round your back and stretch. Coming into cat pose. Inhale, come back to your neutral spine, aligning your shoulders over wrists. And now slowly start to curl your tailbone. Inhale, slide your chest through the gateway of your shoulders, stretch the abdomen. On the exhale, come into a neutral spine. Lengthen the neck. Inhale, lean forward, going past your wrists. And exhale, bend the elbows close to the body and hover off the block. Inhale, push back up. And now exhale, round. Inhale, come back to your neutral spine. And exhale, we'll do it one more round. Inhale, arch your spine, lift the tailbone, come into cow pose, look up. And on the exhale, come into a neutral spine. The crown of your head is pulling forward, nose points down. Inhale, lean your shoulders towards the tips of your fingers. Exhale, bend the elbows 90. Inhale, push up. And exhale, round. This time, stay rounded and slowly start to sit onto your heels. Once you land on your heels, maybe add some pressure and then walk your knees even further out. Create some space for the belly and start to come down. So from here, you want to relax your shoulders. Allow your forehead to weigh heavy on the floor. And even allow the forehead to start to crease towards the bridge of your nose. Just stay here one more breath. On the exhale, rise, coming back into tabletop. Inhale. This time we're going to lower the block. Come back to that middle setting. We're going to come into another shoulder opening. This time you keep that shoulder width apart, but you're going to bring your triceps onto the block and you're going to walk your knees back. So from there, get the back of the elbow and tricep onto your block. And if you want, you can bring your hands in a prayer and then start to walk the knees back and sink your chest. So you can go slowly if this is intense. And then with the breath, see if you can start to sink down. Stretching the triceps as well as letting a deep shoulder opening happen. My forehead already touches the floor. Perhaps I could go into a higher setting, but I prefer to just stay here for today. So wherever you are, stay and breathe for 3. Inhale. Exhale. 2. Inhale. Exhale. 3. Inhale. On the exhale, you'll need to walk your knees forward. Bring all the weight into your elbows to push and come back up. Find the strength to come back up, push off the blocks, and now we move the blocks away and off the mat. So come back into your tabletop, hands and knees, tuck your toes, and we come into our first downward facing dog. So instead of dumping your shoulders, I want you to keep your shoulders neutral with your back, and then find the energy from your hands to lift the energy of your sitting bones. So feel free to bend the knees, especially if this is your first down dog and you're feeling tight, or go ahead and walk it out. I actually want to hold this first down dog for 6 breaths. So going into it nice and slow. 1, inhale. Exhale. 2, inhale. Rooting through your fingers and knuckles. Exhale. 3, trying to find that pelvic tilt by lifting your tailbone and sitting bones. 4, inhale. Remember not to push down through the chest. Instead, keep that chest neutral and try and curl the tailbone up. 5, inhale. We're almost there. Exhale. Let the head hang. 6, inhale. Now we come into some strengthening. Lean forward and walk your feet back. Coming into a plank pose. Inhale. Walk your feet together. No, keep your feet shoulder width apart. We're going to come into a vinyasa. Just warming up your spine and body. Lean forward and exhale. Bend the knees for chaturanga like you did before. Keep your shoulders 90 and just come down onto the thigh and onto the pubic bone. Keep your belly off the ground and inhale. Come into cobra. And exhale, push up, measure your tabletop, and slide into down dog. Stay here, just 1 breath. And on the exhale, lean your shoulders and walk your feet back, plank pose. Inhale, hold your feet hips width apart. And on the exhale, chaturanga with knees or without. Move forward. You can come into your high cobra or maybe into your up dog, whatever you're feeling comfortable with. Maybe look up. And on the exhale, push and come into down dog. Stay again, 1 breath. And on the exhale, lean your shoulders forward and walk your feet back. Again, inhale, plank pose. Round the shoulders. Exhale, chaturanga with knees or without. High cobra or up dog. And then exhale, down dog or child's pose. Stay there now, 3 more breaths. Child's pose or down dog. Exhale. 2, inhale. Maybe you take a little bit of both. 3, inhale. Let's meet back in downward facing dog. And on the exhale, shift your shoulders forward, walk your feet back, come back into plank. This time you walk your feet together, so toes touch, inhale. And on the exhale, shift all the weight into your right hand and roll onto your right heel on the edge of your foot. Keep your big toes together, heels apart. If this is too much, step your left foot forward. From there, we're going to work our side obliques, and we're going to reach the left arm up. Try and press down through the right edge of your foot and lift your side body. We hold for 3. Maybe even float the left foot, not so high. 2, inhale. Exhale. 3, inhale. Look down, and on the exhale, you're going to take a very gentle step back with your left foot. But I want you to stay in a side plank. Inhale. Push down again with your right foot. So avoid changing into wild thing, stay in your side plank and try and find lift in the side body as you drop your left hand. Focus on the oblique. 3 more. Getting heavy in the right shoulder. Exhale. 2 more, push. Exhale. 1 more, you can stay looking down. On the exhale, slowly turn into a plank. Inhale, hold it here. On the exhale, small step forward with your left foot and reach your right leg up. Inhale, open the hip. And exhale, bend the knee. Stay here for 3 more. Stretch it out. Exhale. 2, inhale, open the hip. Squeeze the left glute under. Exhale. 3, inhale, straighten the right leg. And now square the hips and drop your right foot down. Toes touch, inhale. And on the exhale, you lean forward, walk the feet back. Keep the feet close. And inhale, shift all the way into the left hand and roll onto your left heel. You can either keep your right fingertips touching the ground and step your right foot forward for this variation of side plank. Or you can take the full variation where both toes touch, heels apart, and right arm up. Keep digging down through the left corner edge of your foot. Lift the hips. Keep in line with your left shoulder and reach your right leg slightly off the left. Hold it for 3. Exhale. 2. If you want to challenge yourself, look up. Exhale. 3. Now you can either look to the side or look down and take a small step behind you with your right toes. With that extra support, you want to find more lift in the side body. Rather than turning your pubic bone, keep your chest and torso facing the left side or the right side. Inhale, lift up, and drop your right arm over the ear. Hold this for 3 more. Keep working your obliques. Exhale. 2, inhale. Exhale. 3, inhale. Keep looking down, and on the exhale, come back into a plank. Inhale, small step with your right foot forward. And on the exhale, push and lengthen your left leg. Inhale, open the hip. And on the exhale, bend the knee, point it up high. Hold and push. Use the strength of your shoulders, your arms. Exhale. Now use the energy of your glutes to open the hip. Exhale. 3, last one. On the exhale, straighten the leg and drop your feet back together. Feet hips width apart this time, sitting bones. And on the exhale, relax your shoulders, drop your knees, and sit onto your heels. You can roll your shoulders up and back, palms open, and rest the back of the wrists on your lap. We breathe together 3 breaths. If you prefer to stay in child's pose or downward facing dog, go ahead. 2, inhale. Exhale. 3, last one. Now we slowly come back into our tabletop for downward facing dog. So from downward facing dog, stretch it out. Inhale, lengthen. And on the exhale, look forward at your hands. Bend your knees. So we're going to float, fly, jump, or walk. And you're going to get your feet behind each wrist. So inhale, try and jump softly with control. And on the exhale, fall forward, slightly bending the knees, or as much as you need to lengthen your lower back and get your ribs between the thighs. From there, hang your head, grab your elbows, and let the forearms hang. Start to shift the weight forward into the toes as you straighten out the knees. If you need to keep those knees bent, to keep your belly in contact with the thighs, go ahead and bend them. And if you can find a more active stretch, go ahead and straighten the legs with me. Let's hold the stretch for 3. Exhale, trying to keep that weight shifting forward. 2. Exhale. 3. And on the exhale, slightly lift to drop your fingertips and push. Inhale, lengthen. And on the exhale, you start to bend your knees. Inhale, reach your arms up and stand up, pushing off the feet. And then on the exhale, interlock your fingers behind your lower back. Inhale, clasp your hands and join the heel of the hand, lift the chest. And on the exhale, come back, leaning forward, bending the knees slightly and opening the shoulder. You can always bend the elbow to focus more on the chest opening, the heart opening, rather than locking the elbow straight. Feel the rotation of the shoulders, shoulder blades squeezing together, and the opening of your collarbone. One more here. Now you slowly release, dropping your hands in front of you. Inhale, get your feet hips width apart, maybe not too wide, and extend your right leg back. Inhale. On the exhale, bend your left knee slowly, find balance. Arms might lift, and then take a huge slow step back with your right foot, right knee down. Align your left knee over the ankle, push off the foot, and come up. Inhale. Bring both hands onto the knee as you start to stretch your upper right thigh. If you find your knee is going past the heel, maybe heel toe your foot forward and start to sink your hips. Keep your thighs, rather than opening, hugging in towards the center line, tailbone pointing down and belly lifting up. So a lot of action happening in my legs to keep that hug of the midline as well as the pointing of my tailbone. So as you actively do this, hold it, keep pressing down through the left heel, almost joining left heel to right knee and reach your arms up. And on exhale, let's get some heart opening by cactusing out your arms and opening the elbows. Exhale. Try and feel a lift more through your solar plexus. Now on the exhale, right arm goes under left elbow and grab your left thumb. Inhale, lift your elbows. And now exhale, open the cactus. Left arm goes under right elbow. Catch your right thumb and sink. Exhale. Again, inhale, open your chest. And now exhale, right arm goes under. Find lift, inhale. And now exhale, release hands down. Ooh, working out the leg. Inhale, tuck your right toes and lift the leg. And extend your fingertips forward, as far forward and in line with the shoulder. Launch your right leg up, flex the foot, and bring your right heel over to the side in line with your hip. Work the glute and lift the foot as high as you can. And then exhale, swing it back down, hips width apart. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And on the exhale, extend your left leg back. Micro bend the right knee, square the hips, and float your arms. Counterbalance with the left leg, slowly stepping back. And exhale, drop the foot and drop your left knee. Remember, hug your inner thighs towards one another. Tuck the tailbone and lift the chest. Place your hands on top of the right leg as you start to sit actively. From there, you want to lift the chest and breathe in. As you breathe out, cactus out your arms. Hold on the inhale and lift the chest. And now left arm goes underneath right. Catch your right thumb. Inhale, lift the elbows and arch. And exhale, come back into the cactus. Right arm under left. Inhale. And exhale, arch back and hold. Inhale, open the cactus. And go back to left under right. Lift the elbows. And come back down. Exhale, hands to the ground. Tuck your left toes, lift the left knee. Inhale, extend your arms forward on fingertips. And then inhale, launch your left leg up and out to the side. Flex the foot and keep the glute active. Inhale, try and lift the foot as high as you can. And then swing it back down, feet hips width apart. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, bend your knees. Come into a wide Utkatta. Inhale, chair pose, arms up. And on the exhale, push off the feet and stand up. Inhale, join the palms and lengthen. And then hands in prayer at your heart center. Stay here and breathe. Inhale. and exhale. 3, inhale. We come more into a Vinyasa flow now. And on the exhale, we start to move. Drop your hands down. Inhale, reach your arms up, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold and stretch. Come onto your fingertips. Inhale, lengthen the spine once more. And on the exhale, bend your knees. Arms back. Come back into Utthita. Inhale, tuck the tailbone, reach your arms up. And exhale, push off the heels and lengthen, stand tall. Inhale, lengthen, reach up. And on the exhale, drop your chin and interlock the fingers. Keep your elbows slightly bent as you pull the knuckles and lift the chest. Inhale. Focus on the chest, collarbone, and exhale, forward fold. Let go of the hands and inhale, flat back, lengthen. And heel toe, your big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. Inhale, lengthen your right leg back. On the exhale, bend your left knee. Take a step back, and as you turn your right heel down, 45 degrees, align your heel to heel. From there, reach your right arm forward and up, and come into warrior 2. Great. Stay in your warrior, opening the arms shoulder level and sinking your hips down. If your step wasn't big enough, maybe widen the step. From there, I want you to reach your left arm up. Inhale. On the exhale, bend the elbow and place the hand behind your heart. Reach your right arm behind you, walking the wrist up. If you cannot grab your hand, go ahead, use a strap or grab your t-shirt. If you can grab the hand, go ahead and walk your hands together. So you want to stay in your warrior with your torso facing the right side. We want to focus on a side stretch. From there, I want you to start to lean back and open your left ribs. Active through both feet. Inhale. 3. Exhale. 2. Can you feel your right ribs? Your left rib, and your left tricep. 3. Last one. As you come up, let go. Bend your left elbow and place it on top of your left thigh. Look down. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Stack your shoulders on top of each other. On the exhale, reach your right arm behind you to grab your left inner thigh. Get that rotation in the chest, the chin looks up. And hold. One more. Inhale. And on the exhale, look down, come back into warrior 2. Burning on the left thigh. Inhale, straighten the leg and reverse your warrior. Feel a big opening on the left ribs. Inhale. And on the exhale, come back standing, but with straight legs, arms wide. From there, you want to look forward and lengthen. Pivot from the hip. Try and reach for that front wall. And on the exhale, drop your left hand, reach your right arm up, and look up for Trikona. Hold it for 3. Squeeze your left glute underneath right hip. 2, inhale. Hold your neck rather than dropping the head. 3, inhale. And on the exhale, come back into warrior 2, looking forward. Inhale, hold. And on the exhale, cartwheel your hands down, framing your left foot. Take a small step in with your right foot and slide your left leg back into a 3-legged dog. Inhale. Open the hip and exhale, bend the knee. Now look forward and inhale. Touch your left elbow with your left knee on the outside. Exhale, go back. Open the knee. Inhale, lean forward, come into plank. Touch the outside of the elbow with knee. Exhale, go back, open the hip. Last one, inhale. You can stay here. Option 1, option 2, bend the elbows and catch the thigh. Option 3, you can always straighten the leg. Option 4, maybe find lift or stay. Hold it, just 1. On the exhale, sweep the left leg back and come up. Inhale, up dog. And on the exhale, drop the knees, push, and come into child's pose. Hang your head and rest for 3. Making space again for your torso. 2 more. Inhale. Trying to find that full recovery. Exhale. 3. Inhale. On the exhale, slowly rise and come into tabletop. Inhale, measure your hands and knees, open the fingers. On the exhale, tuck your toes, push into downward facing dog. I want you to stretch out your down dog for 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. 2, inhale. Exhale. 3, inhale. On the exhale, lift your heels, look forward at your wrists, and bend the knees. We're going to jump, walk, or float your feet behind each hand. Inhale. Lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up. And on the exhale, hands in prayer. Pump your chest towards the thumb. And breathe. 2 more. Exhale. 1. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, forward fold onto the fingertips. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, bend the knees. Arms reach up to Utkatta with wide leg. Inhale, tuck the tailbone. Exhale, push and stand up. Inhale, lengthen. Now drop the chin and interlock your fingers behind your back. Maybe change the index finger that's in front. And inhale. Keep your elbows micro bent as you pull the knuckles, open the chest. And on the exhale, fall forward into the toes as you drop your chest down. And release. Inhale. Come onto your fingertips and lengthen the spine. And on the exhale, heel toe, your big toes to touch and heels slightly apart. From there, we're going to extend the left leg back. Inhale. And exhale, bend the knee. Take a big step back for warrior 2, dropping the left heel down, aligning heel to heel. Maybe widening my stance. Extend your left arm forward and come into warrior 2. Inhale. Turn your torso to the left side of the mat as you sit and turn your face over right shoulder. Keep this side-facing alignment. Inhale. And on the exhale, I want you to reach your right arm up and drop the hand behind your heart. From there, left hand goes behind you. Maybe use a strap, grab your t-shirt, or if you can, interlock your fingers. From there, try and get the right elbow behind your head. And on the exhale, keep seated and start to open your right side body as you face the left side of your mat. Hold for 3. Working the right leg, charging. 2. Finding your limit and pulling. 3. Inhale. And on the exhale, you slowly release the arms, but bend the right elbow and place it on top of your right thigh. Look down. Inhale, really stack on top of the ankle as you reach your left arm up. And as you feel your shoulders stack, exhale, reach behind you and grab your right inner thigh. Find a twist, opening twist, turn the left ribs open, turn the chin and look up. And we hold just 1 breath, working your right thigh. On the exhale, look back down and come into warrior 2. Inhale, hold. Open your right hand palm and reverse your warrior, straightening out the right leg and reaching your arms over the ear. Hold and push off the right heel and foot. And the exhale, stand tall, keeping your legs straight, arms wide. Inhale, keep facing your right hand. Squeeze the glutes under. And exhale, extend forward, reaching for the wall, dropping your right fingers and lifting your left arm up. Inhale, turn your face, look at the left hand, and hold Trikona for 3 breaths. Holding your side triangle. 1. Exhale. 2. Inhale. Exhale, trying to work your obliques rather than dumping into your right hand. 3. Keep your right hand maybe afloat. Exhale, back into warrior 2. Inhale, hold it and look forward. And on the exhale, cartwheel your hands down, framing your right foot. Lift your left heel. Inhale, take a small step in and slide your right leg back into a three-legged dog. Bend the knee and open the hip. Okay, so from there, we're going to inhale. Touch your right knee to the outside of right elbow. And exhale, go back and open the hip. 2, inhale, touch. Exhale. 3, inhale, touch. This time you can either stay here, option 1. Option 2, bend the elbows like chaturanga. Option 3, you straighten the leg and maybe take a few hops or hold. 1 breath only. Right leg back, chaturanga to up dog. Inhale, open up. Drop the knees and sit. Child's pose. Find an opening between your thighs. Rest your chest and crease the forehead into the bridge of your nose. And hold it for 3. Exhale. 2, inhale. Exhale. 3, inhale. On the exhale, you rise. Well done. Inhale, we come back into our tabletop. On the exhale, we tuck our toes and push back into our down dog. Now we come into more upper body strength. So from our down dog, let's first stretch it out for 3 without dumping the shoulders. Keep them lifted and keep the push of the hands so that you can feel the energy come up and through your tailbone. Just 1 more breath. Inhale. And on the exhale, you might need to walk your hands forward and walk your feet back. Come into plank. Inhale, stay here. And on the exhale, lift the hips and start to pinch the elbows towards each other, bending the elbows slightly. And see if you can take a slow motion drop of the elbows simultaneously to the ground. Let your thumb slide to touch and keep that pinch of the elbow shoulder width apart. Keep your dolphin pose and keep your armpits now pushing back towards your feet. This will be option 1. If you want to challenge yourself, you can walk your feet forward as much as you like. Hold it for 3. Exhale. Lengthen the shoulder. 2. Get your nose away from the floor. Exhale without crunching the back of your neck. Keep it long. 3. And on the exhale, walk your feet back and come into a forearm plank. Inhale, hold it here. And on the exhale, I want you to drop the knees and push your armpits back. Inhale, maybe you find some energy to walk your feet more forward. And then drop your knees again. This time, you might find a space to lift up and sit back onto your heels. Come into Vajra, sitting onto your heels with your knees bent. Open the shoulders. Maybe you might need some counter stretch here, so go ahead and inhale, reach your arms up. Rotate the shoulders and interlock. Bend the elbows. Remember, you can keep the bent. Keep the elbows bent. There's no point in locking the elbow and getting a twist and opening in the wrist. You want the back heel of the hand to join together as you focus on a heart opening. Get a nice stretch now across the chest and into the collarbone. Hold. 2. Exhale. 1. And on the exhale, you release. Let's go back into our forearm. So ready, coming into the forearm, shoulder width apart. Make sure your elbows are not sliding too far apart. And then from there, walk your feet back and we come into a forearm plank. Join your big toes to touch. And now let's turn over to the right side, dropping onto your right heel. So like we did in the beginning of class, I want you to fan out your right hand and come onto your left fingertips for support. From there, you're going to first lift your hips. And on the exhale, maybe start to sink. And then 2, inhale, lift. And now we hold. You can either stay here or lift your left arm up. And try and balance. Really sandwiching yourself between 2 walls. Hold it, 2 more. Maybe adding a bend in the left knee, coming into a tree pose. 1 more, inhale. And now look down. Place your left fingertips, straighten out the left leg, and roll back into center, into forearm plank. Inhale, stay here. Lift the hips, and walk your feet forward. Coming into your dolphin pose for 3. Walking the feet as far forward as you want. 2, inhale. Pressing the armpits back and nose away from the floor. 3, last one. Now walk the feet back and come into your forearm plank. Inhale, roll to the left side. As you fan out your left fingertips, come onto your right fingertips for support. First, we're going to find shoulders stacking on top of each other and glutes squeezing behind your left elbow. From there, find lift and exhale. You can drop, resting the hips. And again, find your lift. Option to stay here. Option 2, to reach your right arm up. Maybe turn your face to the side. If you want, you can lift the hips higher and see if you can place the right foot in that tree pose on the inner thigh. 3. Exhale. 2, a very fine balance. Sandwiching yourself between 2 walls. No worries if you're shaking. That's part of your side plank. Exhale, look down, come back into your forearm plank. Inhale, lift the hips, walk your feet forward, and hold your dolphin. Hold for 3 more. And then we're done. 2 more. If you want to play and go into pincha, go ahead. If you're unsafe with pincha, go ahead and practice against the wall. And now, when you're ready, drop your knees down. Come into child's pose or sit up into Vajra. Again, let's find some relief. Counter stretch of the shoulder. So let's reach your arms up. Inhale. You either can cactus your arms or go ahead and interlock again. Remember to change the index finger that's in front and keep your elbows bent as you pull the knuckles down. Focus on the opening of the chest and collarbone, broaden. Hold 2 more. Exhale. 1 more. On the exhale, you release. Well done. From there, we make our way back into tabletop. And we start to cool down and start to come into a seated sequence. So from your downward facing dog, stretch it out. As this is our last down dog, let's stay here for 3 breaths and see if you can come to the complete expression of the pose. Ironing out the edges, curling your tailbone up, plugging through your fingertips and knuckles to lengthen the shoulder. 2 more breaths together. Activate the arch of the foot. 1 more breath. Activate the knee into the thigh. And on the exhale, lift your heels, bend the knees, and look forward. This will be our last float, jump, or step behind the wrists. Inhale. Lengthen. On the exhale, as you bend the knees, come back into your wide Utkatta. Inhale, tuck the tailbone, lift up. But this time, instead of standing, we come into a seat. Slowly drop onto your glutes, join the knees together, but let the feet walk away. So we're finding a big angle here in the knee and thigh. So your handy block should be close to you, and I want you to place the block long ways and on the skinny side, and I want you to squeeze the block. So I bring the block more on the inside of my knees. That way I can really squeeze in. And then I'm going to either hold onto the back of the knees as I lean back, just to keep that engagement now of my knees closing the block. This is going to activate my pelvic floor. Also allow me to focus on activating the core in this boat variation. So I want to challenge myself. I could maybe let go and hold the chest. If I want to challenge myself further, maybe I'll raise my right leg and hold for 3. Exhale. Need to keep squeezing the block. 2. Exhale. 1. Inhale. Bend the right knee and drop the foot down. Do the other side, left leg. Reach it up. And now we hold for 3 more. 1. Inhale. Keep squeezing your block actively. 2. Exhale. Getting those inner thighs working. 1. Bend the knee and come back up. Well done. This time we're going to sit down, keep your blocks close. We're going to use them at the end of practice. And we're going to lie down with your hands on your, almost on your hip bone. So when you find your hip bone, just rest the palm there. And I want you to be aware of your pelvic tilt. Okay, so instead of using your core to do this exercise, just physically manipulate your bones, your pelvic tilt. So maybe with your hand on the hip, you can assist in the roundness of the lower back. Notice how your tailbone is now lifting. And now exhale, push the hips and get that arch in the lower back. So no active muscles working here, just moving of your pelvis, and rocking it back and forth. If you want to go a little bit faster, you can, but try not to rush it, as this will manipulate and rush your breath. So just move slowly with your heart, breathing in softly. So maybe this time, move your hands off the hips and do this tilt on your own. Try not to pull the belly down so much, and just let that tailbone rock up and down. Let's do 6 more. 6, 5, 4, almost letting this massage your lower back. 3, 2, and 1. Well done. So hopefully you have the blocks close to your hand. We're just going to use one block for this last posture, and we come into a resting pose. We're going to lift the hips actively, pushing the chest towards the chin. And you can either place the block on any setting, so lowest, medium, or the highest. And you can place the flat part of your sitting bone and lower back onto the block. Okay? So be careful if you're on the highest setting. You can always try it, but there's no need to always go for the hardest. So I'm going to go into this middle setting and just really enjoy this final resting pose. Once I find a comfortable support on the flat part of my lower back and tailbone, I'm going to start to rest here. Keep my hands onto my hip bone, relaxing the wrist. Now I'm just going to try out walking the feet hips width apart and see if I can straighten out the left leg. Once you do that, start to relax, letting the hip drop. Okay. And then from there, maybe you need to adjust just the point of where the block pushes against you. Make sure it's comfortable. You can either bend the other knee and straighten the right leg, or you can go ahead and try and straighten both legs, getting a nice opening now in your hip flexor and letting the block push you up. So I'm actively going to pull down my chin into the throat, getting the neck long. as I relax my straightened leg. You can either open your palm now and rest the wrists into the cold floor. And now come into your natural breath, losing ujjayi. And just letting this block open you and letting your weight melt into the ground. So quite tough to let go of tension, but be aware where tensions lie. Well, surely you have some tension in your hips, and you need to learn to let go. Letting the body open up. And looking for enjoyable sensations. If you have any pain, make sure you adjust yourself, get yourself out of it. And if you do not find any comfort, remove the block completely. I want to stay here with you for a few more seconds just to allow yourselves to sink in, enjoying the silence of the space. If you are unable to straighten the legs, or if you have one leg bent, make sure you're straightening one leg at a time and being mindful of how long you're staying on each side. Okay, so now we're going to bend the knees, getting the heels underneath very carefully. Once you find the heels well aligned underneath your knees, again tuck the chin into the throat to lengthen the back of the neck. Now bend your elbows, keep your palms pointing upwards, and now push down through elbow and heel and lift the hips. Inhale, actively lift the hips, trying to get the chest towards your chin. And with one hand, find your block, slide it out of the way, and I want you to come down slowly, vertebra by vertebra, from your upper back. Your last bone to touch the ground should be your coccyx. Keep that roundness and control in your body as you come down. Well done. Open the knees out to the side. Join your feet together. You can either rest here in your final resting pose or come straight into Shavasana. I shall leave you now and say goodbye. Thank you for joining me for class. Namaste.